Coming up on race number 5 at Emerald Downs. And this is a sprint for fillies and mares, starter allowance conditions. Races 5 through 10 remaining. That means jackpot pick 6 time. Little carryover, $1,500, and the jackpot pick 6 starts right here. I think we've got a few eyes on the Whitney at Saratoga. But a nice crowd at Emerald Downs, 8 days before the Long Acres Mile. And we're getting some action at the windows as well as we get ready for the 5th race. And a good handicapping test here. The meet's leading winner is involved, and that would be number 3, Can't Deal With It. She has 4 wins at the current meeting. We look there at number 1, Bells and Whistles, and she is running here for the first time this year in from the Oregon Fair circuit, where she has some good effort. She was unplaced in a stake last time behind that very fast Sing a Happy Song, who has won at Emerald Downs this year. Bells and Whistles from the barn of Gary Greiner. Frank Alvarado has the mount. And this is an 8-year-old mare with 12 career wins, and she has some placings at Emerald Downs, and she is one of the ones to consider for this race, John.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of horses come in from that Oregon meet, and they haven't fared too well up to this point. She did run against Sing a Happy Song, as you talked about, made this big move into a hot pace there, and then paid the price late. She does draw the rail today, and she's got good tactical speed, but so does everybody else in this race. So we'll see what they do. As I mentioned, we've seen a lot of these Oregon shippers. They haven't done too well up to this point. We'll see if we can get an upset sometime, but she'll be a good price.
Bells and Whistles, Kentucky bred. Yeah, just 4 starts in the calendar year. Grants Pass, Prineville, again 3 seconds down there. Number 2 is Eyelight, and Eyelight had that carryover winning streak. She won 3 out of her last 4 at Emerald Downs last year, her last 2. Then she won her first 2 this year, so what a fantastic streak. Now she has been unplaced in her last couple. Do you see any reasons for that?
Yeah, so on June 26th, she broke terrible. She lost all chance that day. She was even money, and she was eliminated at the start. Then last race, she veered out at the start, lost the race, and Olivian, who hadn't really put together a good race, just blitzed the field, and they went 21-1, 44, and nobody was catching Olivian, and this horse chased that hot pace while wide. She gets a little better post position today. As we talked, there's a bunch of horses that like the lead. If she breaks cleanly, she might be a step quicker than the others here. I don't know if that's the case. We'll see, but her last couple, she has some excuses.
Yeah, you're right. Olivian was just an eye-popping winner 2 weeks ago, July 25th. And she was not to be contended with that day. Flying by was 2nd, Clubhouse Drama 3rd. Flying by number 5 in here, Clubhouse Drama number 4. But Eyelight from Frank Lucarelli, Isaiah Enriquez, 3rd start since that claim. There's Can't Deal With It again. She is the top winner at Emerald Downs this year with 4 victories at this track. She comes off an unplaced effort, and she was 3-1. And again, Olivian surprised a lot of people and won that race easily.
Yeah, and she's one of 4 horses in here. Eyelight, Flying By, and Clubhouse Drama, and her, of course, that came out of that race. And in that race, she also veered out at the start, lost about a length and a half. Again, when a closer loses some start, it's not really as effective. But she was wide, and she kind of ran evenly. I think, she was running for $5,000 a couple races ago, stepped up for 10, and then went into the starter allowance company. And there were some pretty tough sprinters in that race. Now, she does get an extra half furlong here, which I think will help her. And she has run some figures back in May that would give her a big chance. Her last couple races, maybe not. We'll see if she can improve off of them.
Yeah, she's been busy this year with 11 starts overall. Southern California up to Emerald Downs. Ironically, 2 of her wins this year have been when she's come back in 8 days. So she is one of those that doesn't mind work. And yeah, Olivian had the measure of everybody. Can't Deal With It. Certainly a big possibility today for another victory. David Martinez, Kevin Orozco, Clubhouse Drama, always a contender.
And we can say the same thing about her as I Light. She was in a position chasing a super hot pace while wide and still ran well for a good third. She's a speed horse. We've talked already. There's a bunch of speed in here. Obviously can't deal with it, might like that scenario, but you got to respect the horse that's in the battle every step of the way.
Yeah, she has 6 wins at 6 furlongs. That's all of her career victories for Clubhouse Drama. And she gets that distance, of course, today. Howard Gibson, Blake Nunnally winning over 25% while riding for Howie Gibson. Number 4, Clubhouse Drama. Really fine record here at Emerald Downs. Number 5 is Flying By, who just came in from New York. She is a Washington bred. And down at Phoenix, won 3 out of 4, had another good race on the grass. Second to I Light, first time out up here. Really only one bad race. I mean, she was 6th one day behind Can't Deal With It, but only beaten 2 3/4. And then she closed in for second behind Olivian last time out.
You know, it's interesting. When we saw her a few years ago, she was a stone-cold speed horse. And then at Turf Paradise in one race, she didn't break real sharp. And then she powered to a big win, came back and broke terrible and won again. And then kind of was a little flat for some races. She did come around to one of her better efforts last time. She did get a nice rail trip that day, and she got a hot pace to run into. But she's fairly consistent. She has a great overall record.
She does. You know, you take away her New York races, and she really has a fine record. Flying By from Kimberly Johnston certainly can pass horses, and leading rider Silvio Amador back up. There's Flying By Coast Guard. Bronze Girls, the 6, and she raced back in May and had a win and a second, so her Emerald Downs record is strong.
And she's another horse that likes to race up on the lead. In fact, she's running at Los Al and being on the lead in those short 4.5 races where you have to hustle really fast to get the lead in those races. There's a pretty good battle in the turn there. She does draw outside, so we'll see if that changes the connection scenario, but she's another horse that likes to be on the lead.
Adrian Castellanos, with his outstanding winning percentage, has the mount today for George Maravilla. Good race here, the 5th to start the jackpot pick 6. Fillies and mares in the Leaf Guard purse.
And the horses are on the track for the 5th race today. The 5th race, a distance of 6 furlongs. It's the Leaf Guard purse. Starter allowance event purse of $10,000. It brings out fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. They'll be off and running in 5 minutes, post time in 5.
Race number 5 approaching here at Emerald Downs. Which filly or mare is going to outrun her foes and get the victory? We have some frequent Emerald Downs winners in this race, and just some nice career records as well. 6 runners to kick off the jackpot pick 6 wager. Let's head up to Tom.
All right, Joe, 5th race at 6 furlongs. I'll go to the 5 Flying By here. Just topped a few of these. I think a replay effort could certainly do it here. Clubhouse Drama's the 4, gets the rematch and has also posted some really good efforts as well. And to round out my top 3, I go with Bronze Girl on the outside. A speedy sort could jump out there on the front end and be a little bit of a problem for the opposition out there. So I'll go 5, 4, and 6. And by the way, Joe, 1,760 yards is correct. You were right.
Oh, for 1 mile. 5,480 feet. How about that?
We're getting there.
Pretty close. Okay, thanks, Tom. Number 5 for Tom. I'm going to go to the same horse, Flying By. John is, mentioned speed horse after speed horse. Like the lead, need the lead. Flying By can certainly pass horses and actually gets a half a furlong farther than her good second last time out. So Tom and I on the 5. John, how do you see this race?
It's hard for me, but Clubhouse Drama comes out of the same race that the horses we've been all talking about, the race at Olivia, and she was widest of them all. And she has shown some versatility where she has sat off. I'm not sure what the connections are going to do with her because they've done her best racing up on the lead. There's a lot of speed here. It's a slight call in a tough race, but the public seems to think that she's a standout here at even money. So we'll see if the public's right.
Yeah, the dynamic morning line showing Clubhouse Drama coming down as far as even money at post time. So John is on the 4, Tom and I on the 5 here in the 5th.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 5th. Field just about set to load for the 5th race. The Leaf Guard purse at 6 furlongs. Bells and Whistles, first one to go up. Now comes Eyelight to join her. Can't Deal With It, looks it over and strolls to the gate now. Now comes Flying By, one from the outside. Bronze Girl to the outside post, one back, that's Clubhouse Drama. Clubhouse Drama steps in, all set. And runners away. Good start for Flying By. Bronze Girl off well. Here goes Eyelight, who moves up sharply at the inside. Clubhouse Drama is on the go from between horses. Then it's back to Bells and Whistles. Another length and a half back to Can't Deal With It at the tail. 7 front to back with a half mile to go. And they sprint for the far turn. A blazing opening fraction of 21 and 68/100ths. Eyelight at the inside and Clubhouse Drama on the outside. Those two burning the opening fractions. Will drop back 3 to Flying By, who's 4 off the beat in third. Still a length and a half to Bronze Girl with a quarter mile to go. And they run to the top of the stretch. Clubhouse Drama on the outside comes off the turn in front. Eyelight's in pursuit. Flying By's back third, center of the racetrack with a furlong to go. Clubhouse Drama leads them into the stretch here, clear length and a half. Eyelight chasing from the inside and Flying By gaining with every stride. Here comes Flying By up to win it. Clubhouse Drama was second, Eyelight third, followed by Can't Deal With It, Bells and Whistles, and Bronze Girl. Running time 1:11 flat. Unofficial order of finish on the board for the 5th race today. Finishing first, it's number 5, Flying By. Second was number 4, Clubhouse Drama. Third came number 2, Eyelight. And fourth, number 3, Can't Deal With It. Running time of the race once again, 1 minute, 11 seconds flat. The 5th race today was the Leaf Guard Purse. Results official. Official winner number 5, Flying By. Into the Michelob Ultra Winners Circle, it's Flying By. She's owned by Kimberly and Rebecca Johnston. Trained by Kimberly Johnston. And ridden to victory by Silvio Amador. Flying By's a 7-year-old dark mare, brown mare by Coast Guard. From Wind to Flyin', she was sired by Blazonry. Bred here in Washington by Vince and Pamela Gibson. And special thanks to the Connections for their donation to the Thoroughbred Aftercare program as they sound the bell in the winner's circle today. After Flying By comes running home to victory, $11.68 on the win ticket, $3.52 to place, $2.46 to show. Number 4, Clubhouse Drama, second, $2.34 and $2.10. And number 2, I Light, third, $2.58 to show. The exact is $17.47. Double paid $52.84. 50-cent trifecta, $25.95. 10-cent super, $7.26. Pick 3, $108.25. And race fans, it's time for the Valpak Jockey of the Week Award, and this week's honor goes to top pilot Silvio Amador, who led all riders with 7 wins last week, boosting his meet-leading total to 54 wins in 36 days. Amador rode 3 winners Friday and posted his second 4-bagger of the meet on Sunday. Tip of the hat to Silvio Amador, our Valpak Jockey of the Week. Coming up in the 6th race today, the Happy Birthday Katie Purse at 6 furlongs. Number 4, Il Vincenzo's been scratched. Scratch. Number 4, Il Vincenzo. Number 5, Subtle Prince will race with blinkers on. Blinkers on number 5, Subtle Prince. Number 6, Livin' Right carries 1 pound over. Post time for the 6th race coming up at 4:27, 22 minutes until post time. And race fans, it's time to head to the Michelob Ultra Winners Circle where we find Joe Withy for the $1,000 Lucky One Lemonade Horseshoe Toss.
Thank you, Tom. I made my way down here. Usually, it's dark out when we're throwing the horseshoe, but I found my way to where the contestants are, and the stake is set, and we are ready to continue the $1,000 Lucky One Lemonade Horseshoe Toss on Saturdays in the month of August. So make sure you fill out that free entry blank when you come into the track on Saturday. And Dan Harrington, our longtime outstanding bugler, great ambassador for Emerald Downs and racing. He's got a trumpet in one hand and a horseshoe in the other. He's multi-talented. It's balancing him out. Dan's going to show our contestants on how about to throw a horseshoe. Dan Harrington. Dan, you were right on line. The balancing of that trumpet, you might have to use a smaller trumpet next time to balance. Okay. Darcy Kladek of Bonnie Lake is first up. Darcy, good luck on the $1,000 Lucky Lemonade Horseshoe Toss. Darcy wastes no time. Okay, you didn't get a bounce. I think the air's a little heavier in the day, maybe. Paul Hanway, also from Bonnie Lake. Paul told me he threw horseshoes, but it's been a few decades. Oh, good form, Paul. Right up there next to the stake, but not a ringer. There's room up there. Sandy Ringer Rogers from Casa Grande, Arizona. Good luck, Sandy. Sandy gets it up in the air and a little bit left. So no ringer on our first Saturday horseshoe toss, but I'm thinking, Gary, that Paul Hanway of Bonnie Lake is good for $100. Yeah. Congratulations, Paul. $100 for returning to the Horseshoe Toss Wars. We'll do it again next Saturday. Back to the sunshine of the paddock, which when the sun's out, it's on the paddock at Emerald Downs, and that is a beautiful thing. It's the Happy Birthday Katie Purse. It's a 6 furlong sprint. We have some promising non-winners yet in their careers. This is a maiden race for 3 and 4 year olds. Scratch number 4, 7 are in. I think expectations pretty high in a lot of cases as well. We've got some horses that have shown some improvement recently, John. So a good start to the pick 5 today.
Yeah, we had a horse that was started in the Seattle Slew just earlier in mid-July, and of course Vino Viking ran second in the Godstein Futurity last year. So as you mentioned, some high expectations for some of these maidens.
Yeah, Vino Viking does have the rail for Tom Wenzel, and Wenzel won the Godstein last year with Robin Racer, who's expected to be a big factor in 8 days in the Muckleshoot Derby here at Emerald Downs. Vino Viking by Vino Rosso. 2 starts this year, both thirds, and he's been passing horses.
Yeah, those were 2 of the really stronger maiden special weight races we had, and he's been off 2 months, but in that last race, he was kind of in tight quarters going into the turn. It wasn't terrible, but he had to move off the turn and go 4 wide, leaving the turn 5 wide in the stretch. A pretty solid second. Now, he doesn't have a lot of early speed, but he does come off a couple of excellent efforts.
Yep, he has kept excellent company. Vino Viking, 9 to 5 on the morning line. Frank Alvarado returns to ride. Illusion of Choice, son of Barkley, and that good mare, Miss Sandra Sue, trained by Marshall Allen. He's one of the ones where expectations are a little higher. A good second last time out to that dominant Midnight Tiger.
Yeah, in his very first start, he kind of ran evenly there and had a little trouble. Last race, he, as you mentioned, showed good improvement, moved into contention, wasn't able to catch Midnight Tiger, but obviously has a right to continue to improve, definitely a strong contender.
Yeah, he outran 10 last time out, second in the 12-horse field, so a good second out improvement factor for Illusion of Choice. Javier Matias returns to ride for Marshall Allen. Favored Son showed improvement in his second start.
Yeah, showed good early speed in his first start and got tired, showed good early speed in his second start and held on for a better third. Now, he did lug in a bit, so he was getting tired at the end. Obviously, he's racing into shape. Maybe his third start is the charm.
Yeah, he was beaten by that other Barkley, Illusion of Choice, by just a half length, so they were very close together. But again, an improved effort by Favored Son from Hall of Fame trainer Howard Belvoir. Jennifer Whitaker returns to ride. Scratch the 4. Subtle Prince is the 5, a second Tom Wenzel runner in here. Blinkers on, second start of the year.
Yeah, his first start last year, he was favored, and he just wasn't interested and kind of ran evenly. Last race, got bet a little bit and ran evenly again. Now the blinkers go on. It's his second start off a long layoff there. We know this barn does extremely well with these type of horses. He should run a lot better. He's well bred.
Yeah, he is a brother to minor league, multiple stakes winner, Godstein winner here at Emerald Downs. Livin' Right's the 6, trained by George Rosales, Alex Anaya aboard, and third career start, all here at this meeting. He did debut in the Seattle Slew.
Yeah, and in that race, he had trouble at the gate. And then last race, his first start against Maidens, he also veered in at the start and was kind of lost a couple lengths there and ran evenly. Obviously, he gets out of the one hole today, moves in the middle of the pack. Hopefully, he can get out of the gate cleanly. Wouldn't be surprised to see this horse up on the lead if that's the case.
Yeah, 2 number 1 post positions so far for Livin' Right. Of course, just the Seattle Slew was a non-effort, but moving outside, key, Alex Anaya. Annabelle's Asset did not get a good start last time out, then finished fast.
Very similar to Vino Viking in that ran good 2/3 good races, and as you mentioned last race, veered in sharply at the start and was wide throughout. Definitely can improve off that race.
Yeah, he finished well, did Annabelle's Asset. Alex Cruz, second time aboard today for Coco Patino. And then Cozumel, here's a second-time starter that certainly has a right to improve.
Yeah, broke a little slow from the inside, draws outside, came back with a really nice work, has every reason to improve.
Yeah, we've got second-time starters, second time for the year, so forth. Connections, many optimistic here as the horses go to the track for the Happy Birthday Katie Purse.
Dan Harrington's call to post for the 6th race, the Happy Birthday Katie purse at 6 furlongs. Maiden special weight event, purse of $23,000. It's for maiden 3-year-olds and upward. Reminder that number 4, Il Vincenzo's been scratched. And make note that number 5, Subtle Prince, will race with blinkers on. Post time in 5 minutes.
Race number 6 at Emerald Downs, 6 furlong sprint, start of the 50-cent pick 5. And yeah, many chances here. Horses on the improve, second-time starters. Connections optimistic for probably every one of these 7 runners. So, Tom, who did you select in race 6?
Hey, you're right, Joe. I mean, a lot of these are lightly tested. You still don't know quite what you have just yet. So, you got to get a little form under the belt before you know. That said, I'll go to Cozumel on the outside. Cozumel, upset possibility, showed a little interest late in the going in that last race. Currently 6-1. Cozumel, just the one lifetime start. That was right here. And really didn't do anything wrong, just had pretty much an even finish in the race. So I'll go with Cozumel for trainer Blaine right here, followed by Vino Viking, number 1. Frank Alvarado will guide this one, who has a pretty solid late kick, or at least has shown us that so far in the early stages of his career. At number 2, Illusion of Choice, Javier Matias will be on board for this one, a 2-time starter, but came to task pretty well in that last race. So 8, 1, and 2, my picks here in the 6th.
Okay, number 8 on top, Cozumel, a Calbred from trainer Blaine Wright with leading rider Silvio Amador. John.
Hey, both you and Tom had Flying By last race. That was a nice 9-2 shot, I think, and she got the job done from that nice stalking trip. I'm going to go with, well, I get to pick one deep closer a week, and this is it. That's Vino Viking. I know he's been off 2 months, and I know he has no early speed, but those two fields, I think, were just tougher fields than this, and he just, through attrition, this is a little easier spot. We'll see if that's the case, and he passes them all late.
Okay, you're right. Some of these horses with maiden victories have made the fields a little bit possibly lesser, but a lot of optimism once again. I'm going to go Annabelle Zasset, who was outrun by Vino Viking in his career debut back in June. He does have a good late kick, and that was a pretty good fifth last time out after a slow start in a 12-horse field. I'm on the 7. Tom's on the 8. John's on the 1 in race 6.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 6th. The Happy Birthday Katie Purse as the field set to load for this one. Vino Viking steps right in. Illusion of Choice strides to the mark. And Favored Son, next one to go. Little hesitation from Favored Son, number 3. Gay Crew works to get the handle on Favored Son as Subtle Prince is standing by. Now in goes Subtle Prince, Living Right. Annabelle Zasset, next one. Cozumel standing by for the outside post. Now goes to join them. Now they're in. And runners away. Cozumel broke well. Annabelle's Asset quick into stride. Living Right is right up there to converge. Favored Son one off the rail with Illusion of Choice. Moving on, Subtle Prince from second last. Vino Vikings at the tail, but they're only 7 front to back, just over a half-mile away. Battle ensues for the lead here. Favored Son at the inside is right there, quickly to converge with Cozumel. From between horses, Livin' Right. Annabelle's Asset is right up amongst the lead set as well. On the outside, Vino Viking begins to stir, and suddenly 3 off the beat as they run to the top of the stretch a quarter-mile away. Favored Son at the inside and Cozumel from the outside. They round the turn and head for home. Vino Viking continues to gain. Along the outside comes Annabelle's Asset, but in deep stretch now it's Favored Son on the lead. Challenging from the outside, Vino Viking is rolling. Here comes Vino Viking. The race to the wire, Vino Viking the winner. Favored Son was second, Annabelle's Asset, then back to Illusion of Choice, Livin' Right, Cozumel, and Subtle Prince. Running time 1:10 and 70/100. An official order of finish on the board for the 6th race. Finishing first, it was number 1, Vino Viking. Second was number 3, Favored Son. Third, number 7, Annabelle's Asset. And fourth, number 2, Illusion of Choice. Running time of the race, 1:10 and 70/100. 6th race today, the Happy Birthday Katie Purse. Ladies and gentlemen, the inquiry sign appears on the totalizator board. The inquiry, a steward's inquiry, does not involve the top 4 place finishers. Into the Michelob Ultra winner's circle, it's Vino Viking. He's owned by George Tadaro, trained by Tom Wenzel, ridden to victory by Frank Alvarado. Vino Viking, a 3-year-old bay colt by Vino Rosso from Bound. She was sired by Jumpstart. Vino Viking was bred in Kentucky by Spendthrift Farm, LLC. Results for the 6th race official. The official winner, number 1, Vino Viking. Special thanks to the donation. We hear the bells sound in the winner's circle. A donation's been made for the Thoroughbred Aftercare program. Thanks once again to the connections of Vino Viking today. And a look at the prices for the 6th race. Vino Viking returns $422 to win, $272 to place, $216 to show. Number 3, Favored Son, $370 to place, $298 to show. Number 7, Annabelle's Asset, $2.88 on the show. Winning Exacta, $8.88. The Rolling Double, $13.83. 50-cent Trifecta, $15.45. 10-cent Super, $6.98. Winning Pick 3, $57.52. Coming up, the 7th race today, it's the Lucky One Lemonade Purse at 1 mile. Number 4, Escape from Paradise, has been scratched. Scratch number 4, Escape from Paradise. Post time for the 7th race at 5 o'clock. 22 minutes until post time.
Joe Withy and John Lindley above the paddock as we approach our late pick 4 on a Saturday afternoon. 4 races remaining, 11 races tomorrow at Emerald Downs, and of course, a big weekend. 7 and 8 days away, the Washington Thoroughbred Hall of Fame honorees to be recognized next Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. out by the Winner's Circle. Before that, breakfast at the Wire as well from 9 to 10:30 a.m. And there is a complimentary breakfast item available there. And we're going to have plenty of Long Acres Mile talk as the fields will be set actually by Wednesday, John.
Yeah, you know, we had 5-star General win it back-to-back, and then I don't know if you count him as an invader, because he really was an invader. Of course, last year we did have an invader win, and I know we have a couple coming in. One that's pretty formidable, I understand, the horse from the Midwest.
Yeah, Touchy from the barn of Wesley Ward. Wesley Ward, the author of some 12 victories at Royal Ascot, the first North American trainer to venture over there and win. And Wesley has done well with Breeders' Cup horses, and he's very well known for 2-year-olds. I think it's 9 training titles at Keeneland. And he has a great 2-year-old filly this year by the name of Wagley.
Yeah, as we've watched over the last 15 years, he's dominant in those 2-year-old races, especially the early ones out. And, you know, having a mile horse, I don't know if he's had one before, but it's not necessarily what he does best, but obviously this horse has got a lot of talent, and the fact that he'd come up here is pretty nice, and hopefully we'll see him in a week.
A son of Nyquist by the name of Touchy, coming off of his career best at Churchill Downs in his most recent start. And Wagley is owned by Dave Mowat of Seattle. Wagley 3 for 3, beat the boys very convincingly last time out. Okay, we're going to turn to the 7th race at Emerald Downs, fillies and mares at a mile. Chatty Leroy Brown, she had that huge day on Championship Sunday last year. She just dominated the Washington Oaks at 33-1 as she won 2 straight route races last year. She broke her maiden and then unplaced in a sprint, came back and won the Oaks on the front end. So she can run 2 turns. She's coming off a 4th place finish behind Nefeli and Banji Go. They're going to be in the 9th race today.
Yeah, you look at her form from last year. When she went to her first route, she showed that she wanted the route. She broke really, really bad that day and then ran right by Nelfi, who you talked about has done very well since then. And then, of course, won the Washington Oaks as an upset wire-to-wire winner. Recently, maybe not as good form, but they have been facing tougher horses. That was a starter allowance last race, and she was checked and steadied late stretch while tiring. She does draw a favorable rail. We know that's always going to be good, and that big drop in class, I think a lot of people are going to look her way.
Mike Puich, trainee for Claim to Fame Racing, and Alyssa Morales aboard, who happens to be 1 for 1 for trainer Mike Puich. She winning on background a couple weeks ago. Chatty Leroy Brown, yeah, you know, her 2 routes at this meeting, Princess Akawi won 1, then you got Banji Go and Vulan. Banji Go and Vulan both outran her again in her 2nd route race. So, I mean, I look at that, a little competitive factor that she's not facing those 2 that have beat her a couple times, and you talked about her trip as well. So, Chatty Leroy Brown, the favorite in early wagering. Solo Un Beso has 3 career victories. 2 are at this distance, and when she has won, she's taken the lead and taken advantage of setting the pace.
Very similar to Chatty Leroy Brown. She had 2 wins at Emerald last year, and they were both dominating wins. This year, she's had 2 tough trips. On July 11th, she was 4 wide on both turns, and that's just no man's land. It turned out to be a pretty strong field. Then last race, she hopped at the start, then clipped heels and stumbled and lost maybe 3 or 4 lengths. So I think she has excuses for her 2 routes so far this year. We know routing's her game. We'll see if that's the case today.
Okay, yeah, that's certainly some reasons for improvement for the Jesse Velasquez runner, Solo Un Beso, with Blake Nunnally aboard today. There she is standing calmly, 5-year-old Washington-bred mare. Next to her is Lucy L, who, boy, give her a chance at a mile and she'll take advantage of it. She's won 4 times at the distance. She's won 3 times here at Emerald Downs. Not off to a great start this year in 2026, but was a factor in her most recent.
Yeah, in that race, her and Shanghai Barbie just were at each other every step of the way, and they dueled each other into submission, and of course Platinum Diva and Thirsty Nick got benefit of that trip there. So I think she also comes off a better than looks race. In fact, both the horses from this barn, the Rio Velasquez barn, has not had things go their way their last few races. We'll see if they can get a better trip today.
Yeah, and you know, some of the sprints she ran, she was third behind Tano House, male opposition, and then Clubhouse Drama won big back in May, and she was third in that race. So yeah, you know, the fact that she can run a mile makes her somewhat of a live horse today, and an overlay right now at 7-1. Scratch the 4. Number 5 is Acclaimed Preacher from trainer Marcelino Trujillo. Silvio Amador is aboard Acclaimed Preacher, who also on her best day can do a mile.
Yeah, and she comes out of what turned out to be a stronger than I thought field. Gigi's Map came back with the big win, and Platinum Diva came back with the win, and she got that trip just off the lead. Now, the pace was super hot that day. This is easier company. She has an ability to be on the lead, also an ability to stalk, and when you look at a drop in price very similar to Chatty Leroy Brown, you got to respect her.
I can see that, yeah. And Silvio Amador, our leading rider, second time aboard for Trujillo on Acclaimed Preacher, dropping in class. Thirsty Nick is a really good competitor. Boy, she finishes her races well, and she's got a good record at a mile.
Yeah, and as I mentioned last time, she sat third to that speed duel that Lucy L. and Shanghai Barbie set, and she might have been just a little too close to it because they were moving pretty early, and she's up there kind of eyeballing it, but you know, got caught by a deep closer at the end. A little different pace scenario, a little better trip. She can improve off her second for sure.
Yeah, 3 wins here last year for Thirsty Nick. She hasn't won yet this year, but second to Platinum Diva last time out. And again, distance she can certainly handle. Thirsty Nick from trainer Ramiro Martinez. Alex Cruz rides her. He's well familiar with Thirsty Nick. Pocket Knife on the outside for trainer Doug Carlson with Lenny Citron. Citron has ridden her a couple of times at the meeting. It's her second 2-turn race after a couple of sprints, so she's fairly lightly raced off the layoff from Turf Paradise in the winter. Her last victory was at a mile at Emerald Downs last summer. And we have 6 fillies and mares to the track for the Lucky One Lemonade Purse.
And the horses are on the track for the 7th race. The 7th race, a distance of 1 mile. The Lucky One Lemonade Purse. It's a claiming event, purse of $9,000. It brings out fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Reminder that number 4, Escape from Paradise, has been scratched. Post time in 6 minutes.
Race 7, another good competitive handicapping test here. Fillies and Mares going a mile, and not unsurprising that several of these are very capable at the distance. It's the start of our late pick 4, races 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's head back up to Tom.
Well, Joe, John Lindley reached in the form and plucked that winner right out of there. So good on you, John.
Yeah,
that was a good job in that.
Good way to put that, Tom.
Absolutely. 7th race of the mile, 2 turns we go. How about Thirsty Nick? Coming into this one, was gaining late, shines well around 2 turns. And Alex Cruz has had a pretty good day so far with a couple of wins. He'll have the call here for Thirsty Nick. I'll use that one on top. Then I'll go to the inside with Chatty Leroy Brown. Big class drop here, draws the rail for a plus. Coming into this spot, Alyssa Morales will guide Chatty Leroy Brown. To round out my 3, number 5, Acclaimed Preacher, Silvio Amador will be in the irons for this one. And this one forwardly placed and also drops a notch in class here. So I go 6, 1, and 5 here in the 7th.
Okay, Thirsty Nick on top for Tom. 5-2 morning line, and currently at 9-5. John, and yeah, nice pick last race.
Yeah, things set up for the horse, and as we talked, he's kind of had running just the wrong horses, and it might have been the right field, but we'll see what they do going forward, because that horse did run second to Godseen Futurity, so you know routing's game, and maybe they'll get a route to fill. I'm going to try also the same horse Tom went with, number 6, Thirsty Nick. You know, we've got some big class dropper or price droppers in here, but that last race was a good race. She chased a pretty hot pace and stuck around at the end there, and she has a right to improve off of it, I think. We'll see if that's the case here. Pretty evenly matched field.
Yeah, and I'm with you on Thirsty Nick. Just watching her over the last couple of years, she just seems to run her race, whether it be a sprint or a route. She will try hard, and she's a capable miler. 2 wins, 2 seconds from 6 tries, and coming off a good second. All 3 of us on number 6, Thirsty Nick, in race 7.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 7th race at a mile, the Lucky One Lemonade Purse. Chatty Leroy Brown, the first one to go up. She goes in. Now Solo Un Beso. Solo Un Beso up to the line. Now Luciel to join them. Lucy walks right in. Here comes Acclaimed Preacher. 2 back now. Thirsty Nick next one. And Pocket Knife outside post. And once again, starter Mark Gibson will send them on their way. And runners away. Good start for Chatty Leroy Brown, who is quick into stride. Acclaimed Preacher is quickly up as well. Luciel tucked away at the rail as they make the sweep round the Mount Rainier turn. And Chatty Leroy Brown brings them along, the leader by a length and a quarter. Acclaimed Preacher is settled into stride, second by 2. Then comes Luciel to Thirsty Nick up on the outside. There's another 2 lengths back to Solo Un Beso and Pocket Knife at the tail. Up the backstretch they go. 23.73 opening fraction with Chatty Leroy Brown. Bring them along by 3 parts of a length. Acclaimed Preacher is right behind by 2.5. Thirsty Nick still holding third. Along the inside, Luciel. Up along the outside, Solo Un Beso is called upon now. And Pocket Knife picks up the running from back of the pack, and around the turn they go. 47 and 51/100ths. Chatty Leroy Brown has been there from gates opening. Acclaimed Preacher on the outside is quickly up to eye the leader with a 1/4 mile to go. Solo Un Beso is into third and gaining. They round the turn and race for home. Stride for stride, Chatty Leroy Brown. Acclaimed Preacher is chasing, and Solo Un Beso in deep stretch. Chatty Leroy Brown leads them down the lane, clear by 3. Acclaimed Preacher, but Chatty Leroy Brown to win it by 3. Acclaimed Preacher was second. Solo Un Beso, Thirsty Nick, Luciel, and Pocket Knife. Time for the mile, 1:37 and 31/100ths. Unofficial order of finish on the board. Finishing first, it's number 1, Chatty Leroy Brown. Second was number 5, Acclaimed Preacher. Finishing third, number 2, Solo Un Beso. And fourth, number 6, Thirsty Nick. Results official. Running time for the mile, once again, 1:37 and 31/100ths. 7th race today, the Lucky One Lemonade Purse. Into the Michelob Ultra Winner's Circle, Chatty Leroy Brown. She's owned by Claim to Fame Racing Fund 2 LLC. Winning trainer is Michael Puich. The winning jockey, Alyssa Morales. A 4-year-old bay filly by Bad Leroy Brown from Chatty Catty. She was sired by Grayson. Bred in California by Hector Romero Preciado. And a look at the prices for the 7th race today. Winner number 1, Chatty Leroy Brown, $5 to win, $3.48 to place, $2.72 to show. Number 5, Acclaimed Preacher, $4.46 to place, $3.04 to show. Number 2, Solo Un Beso, $2.86 on the show ticket. Winning Exacta, $8.75. Rolling Double, $6.79. 50-cent trifecta, $11.43. The 10-cent super, $4.84. Winning pick 3, $29.38. And the pick 4 returns $154.82. There was a claim in the 7th race. The winner, number 1, Chatty Leroy Brown, was claimed. The new owner, Julie Hebden. The new trainer, Jorge Rosales. Number 1, Chatty Leroy Brown, claimed from the 7th race. Coming up, the 8th race today, it's the Pepsi Purse at 1 mile. Number 1, Upstart Yankee, will race with blinkers on. Blinkers on, number 1. Post time for the 8th race at 5:32. 23 minutes until post time. Hey fans, this morning's breakfast at the Wire was a big success, and it's coming back on Saturday, August the 15th, from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Join us near the Paddock Grill. Admission is free, plus you receive a free breakfast item. Breakfast at the Wire, Saturday, August 15th. Don't forget, this weekend in the park is our final family fun weekend of the season. We have free face painting, bounce houses, sidewalk chalk. Plus tomorrow, we'll do it all over again, and we'll have the kids race on the track.
Coming up on race number 8 at Emerald Downs, and yeah, it's a family fun weekend, so keep that in mind for the kids out in the park area with a lot to keep them busy. Plus, tomorrow we're going to have our final kids race on the track, and that's pretty cool, getting to run down the Emerald Downs Oval. A lot of humans and
They get ice cream.
dinosaurs, yeah.
That's the best part of it.
You're not going to disguise yourself or anything, are you?
I'll just get the ice cream anyway.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be an ice cream day. It's supposed to be nice again tomorrow. And we're just a week away from the big day of the year, Championship Sunday, a week from tomorrow, the Longacres Mile. And certainly interested to see how that field comes together. You know, strong indications on some of the local horses to run, like See That Tiger, Slew's Tiz Whiz, Tax Code, and Executive Chef coming out of that Governor's. He's not talking possibly. Well, the nominees are in. The draw day is Wednesday. That's when we'll know for sure. We've got 3 races today, and of course 11 tomorrow starting at 1:50. There's a look at number 1, Upstart Yankee. This is a Kentucky bred. Blinkers on today, and second ever race at Emerald Downs. His first race was pretty good. It was at this distance, and he did run second. He was claimed out of that race, now in the barn of George Maravilla. And Blake Nunnally will be the rider. He's a stock and closing type, so he's going to get dropped back on the inside, save ground, and make the move, John.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he ran really well his first start at Emerald Downs. He lost to Bourbon Dancer, but he beat Prowling Cat, who had won 2 or 3 prior to that race. And, you know, it's been a while since this horse has won. I didn't go back and look it up, but it's been a while. But that second place effort kind of points him out here, and he also draws a very favorable rail at a flat mile, which we know gives you a little extra credit, adds blinkers, all positives. The dynamic morning line has him at 4 to 5, and I'm not surprised there. It was a good effort last time.
Okay, yeah, second time over the oval, comes back in 2 weeks. Decu Dillon, you know, I guess it's not unsurprising that he only has 3 wins from 30 starts. That's a little bit light on the win end because he gets behind, but boy, over the last couple of seasons, he's been pretty consistent with a fast finish.
Yeah, and last race he ran a good second. El Joy kind of dominated that race from start to finish, and he was able to, you know, pass all of them but one there in that stretch run. Now, he did get a kind of a hot pace to run at that day. Not quite sure what the pace will be today. There's a couple horses that like the lead, but definitely he's in good form, and he seems to be on the improve, and he can save ground early from this post.
Alex Cruz has been really good from off the pace the last few weeks. He's brought in a number of stretch runners to victory. 2 wins today for Cruz. He's up for Scott Tubbs on Decu Dillon, who Tom won't be calling on the lead early, that's for sure. Gordy's Boy is number 3. This is a Cal bred trained by Guillermo Preciado. Alex Anaya aboard, and we've seen him for 3 starts at the current meeting, all at today's distance of a mile. And yeah, he's lacked a little punch in that last 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah, he's another one that it's been a while since he won a race. He does have a couple thirds at Turf Paradise and comes off his best effort at Emerald, a 4th, but it just hasn't been really able to threaten. And he does drop in price a little bit. He's going to have to get better, but he's got a rider who's pretty aggressive early. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they tried to get him in contention early. We'll see if that's the case.
Yeah, he's not too far off the pace in the first part of the race in his recency. Gordy's Boy, the 3. Prowling Cat. Prowling Cat, 3 wins at the meeting. I believe he was the first horse to 3 wins. He won on June 13th for his 3rd victory, won a couple close ones. Hasn't run bad since then.
No, last race he was able to control the pace, and to be honest, I thought he should have won the race. He had control of the race, but he was outfinished by 2, one of them being the 1 horse in this race. He does go for a barn that does very well with newly claimed horses and draws our leading rider onto him. He has tactical speed, but he also has sat off before, so a lot of positives for him. I could see him clearly being second choice, which I'm guessing he will be.
Yeah, he should be involved early. He's got Silvio Amador today for trainer George Rosales. Claimed the last couple times he's raced. Prowling Cat, again, yeah, those 3 wins early will open up some eyes. There's the 4, Prowling Cat. And number 5, KR Rules, is an interesting horse in this race, John, because he can run a mile. 2 of his 3 career victories are at a mile, and he has tactical speed. He's been on the lead several times, going 2 turns, and Prowling Cat and KR Rules, it could be a little duel up front.
Yeah, there could be. As you mentioned, you know, he has a pretty good record at Turf Paradise. At Emerald, he has the 1 win in a bunch of starts there, but he did battle gamely last time and didn't quit sprinting. So as you talked about, going to a route is a positive. He's got good tactical speed. He might even be a step quicker than Prowling Cat. We'll see if that's the case. But if he does get loose on the lead, who knows? We've seen a lot of horses go wire-to-wire routing when they're loose on that first turn.
KR Rules by Harbor the Gold. Kevin Krieger up for Jose Puentes, and Krieger has had some good days aboard KR Rules, including that good third at 6-1 3 weeks ago. There's number 6, Ruler of Angels, a steady diet of 1-mile races, and he could be keeping company with Deku Dillon early.
Yeah, here's another one. It's been a while since he's won. He doesn't have much early speed. He's going to have to hope for a hot pace to run out. Last race, he was wide on the second turn, and that's not unusual when you have no speed and there's a bigger field, and the pace was kind of backed up that day. He had no chance. He's going to have to get, the field spread out in a hot pace duel, and we'll see if that helps him.
Kevin Orozco having a fine meeting here. He's aboard. He did ride Ruler of Angels the last time the horse ran. There's the 6 by acclamation. Trainer Marcelino Trujillo. Outside is Tex Hanley for trainer Robbie Gilker, narrowly beaten at this claiming price a couple races back. He was beaten pretty soundly by Upstart Yankee and Prowling Cat after being in the race early, but a mile on the 16th, not bad distances for Tex Hanley lifetime. Melissa Morales aboard on the track for the 8th.
And the horses are on the track for the 8th race today. It's the Pepsi Purse at 1 mile. Claiming event, purse of $9,500 for 3-year-olds and upward. Reminder that number 1 Upstart Yankee will race with blinkers on number 1. Post time in 5 minutes.
Eighth race starts our last pick 3 on Saturday, covering races 8, 9, and 10. Again, low takeout in the pick 3, just 12% takeout, and that is more money returned on winning wagers. Let's go up to Tom for his selection in race 8.
Joe, in this one, I'll go to Upstart Yankee, number 1. They put the blinkers on. Upstart Yankee, by the way, sporting new colors today for trainer Jorge Maravilla. This one was claimed in the first and only outing on the meeting here at Emerald Downs. Came to us from Santa Anita prior to that. Been racing a little higher up the ladder in claiming. But certainly fits in nicely here. Solid runner-up last time out, and again with the blinkers on, maybe add a little focus there. Inside post position should be a plus. I like Upstart Yankee in this one, currently 8-5 on the board. Deku Dillon's a late running sort, should certainly be feared in the late stages. I'll use that one second. And number 4, Prowling Cat, to round out my top 3. Prowling Cat looks to be the type to set the tone early in the race, and who knows, could go all the way. 1, 2, and 4, my picks here in the 8th.
Okay, on top, Upstart Yankee, second in his first ever race at Emerald Downs. That was 2 weeks ago. Blake Nunnally up today for George Maravilla after a claim in that race. John?
I'm going to agree with Tom and the public pretty much on the same 3 horses. When you look at the dynamic morning line and the betting, they appear to have an edge over the field. And Upstart Yankee, I think his biggest positive is he draws the rail today, and he, might have needed that last race after shipping in from Southern California. Got a little confidence that he's able to pass horses. We'll see if he can pass them all and get his first win in a while.
John is might be surprised, but I'm going to go Deku Dillon in here. John's picked his one closer for Saturday. I'm going number 2. I think there could be a decent pace with Prowling Cat and KR Rules. The horse is on form for Scott Tubbs and has offered a really good late run in his last 2. Alex Cruz knows him well. I'm going to say he's going to be a factor late. I'll go 2. Tom and John go 1 in the 8th.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 8th. 8th race, the Pepsi Purse at a mile. Upstart Yankee, first one to go in. Now comes Deku Dillon right alongside. Gordy's Boy steps up. Now to Prowling Cat. KR Rules goes to join them. Ruler of Angels, next one. Tex Hanley, outside post. And the 8th. Starter Mark Gibson to turn 'em loose. And runners away. Good start for Prowling Cat, goes straight to the front. KR Rules to the outside of that. Gordy's Boy, Upstart Yankee is tucked away at the rail as they make way round the Mount Rainier turn, and it's Prowling Cat to go on and lead it by a length and a half. Tracked by KR Rules, racing second by 3. From the inside, Upstart Yankees there in stride with Tex Hanley. And those two are stride for stride. Then there's a gap of 4. Back to Ruler of Angels. Then comes Gordy's Boy. Another 3 to Deck You Dillon. Content to trail midway up the backstretch they go. 23 and 6/100ths with Prowling Cat just in front. KR Rules on the outside to ensure a reasonable pace, and they went the half in 45 and 51. They picked it up quite a bit into the run to the turn with Prowling Cat just in front, but there goes KR Rules now. Upstart Yankees moved into third and gaining 2.5 to Tex Hanley. Racing next, and Ruler of Angels a quarter mile away as they run to the top of the stretch. KR Rules the leader. Prowling Cat at the inside. They're joined by Upstart Yankee from the outside now as they head for the final furlong. KR Rules, but here comes Upstart Yankee on the attack. Deep stretch now. Upstart Yankee, a late save from Gordy's Boy from off the pace. 50 yards to the line. It's going to be Upstart Yankee to win it. Gordy's Boy, the runner-up to Deck You Dillon. KR Rules. Tex Hanley followed. Prowling Cat second last, and Ruler of Angels. Running time for the mile, 1:38 and 19/100ths. An official order of finish on the board. Finishing first, it's number 1, Upstart Yankee. Second was number 3, Gordy's Boy. Third came number 2, Deck You Dillon. And fourth, number 5, KR Rules. Results are official. The official winner, Upstart Yankee. The 8th race today was the Pepsi Purse. Time for the mile once again, 1:38 and 19/100ths. In the Michelob Ultra Winner's Circle, it's Upstart Yankee. He's owned by Irma Esmeralda Angel, trained by Jorge Maravilla. Ridden to victory by jockey Blake Nunley. Upstart Yankees, a 7-year-old dark mare, brown gelding by Upstart. From West Kentucky, she was sired by Yankee Victor. Upstart Yankee was bred in Kentucky by Barrington C. Jones. And a look at the prices now for the 8th race. Winner number 1, Upstart Yankee, returns $428 to win, $292 to place, $216 to show. Number 3, Gordy's Boy, $15.14 to place, $6.54 on the show ticket. Third came number 2, Deck You Dillon, $3.14 to show. The Exacta, $37.01. Rolling Double, $5.36. 50-cent trifecta, $34.66. The 10-cent Super, $49.15. Winning Pick 3, $7.57. There was a claim in the 8th race. Number 5, KR Rules, was claimed. The new owner, Frank Louis Carden. The new trainer, Hilario Perez. Number 5, KR Rules, claimed from the 8th race today. In the 9th race at 1 mile, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse. No changes for the 9th race. Post time on the board at 6:02. Just over 20 minutes until post time. Race fans, don't forget Championship Sunday's coming up August the 16th. The day features 6 stakes races, including the 91st running of the $125,000 Long Acres Mile. Post time is 1:50 p.m. The gates open at 11:30 a.m. Come early for the Railbird Rally in the park from noon to 1 p.m. Get your tickets today at EmeraldDowns.com.
Race number 9 at Emerald Downs. And a couple races to go. We have those Fab Friday concession and beverage specials today. Some great specials. I hope you were able to take advantage of those. Still can. And again, a family fun weekend. Tomorrow, some great activity in the park. Still in the summer of 26. It's been a fun summer at Emerald Downs and much more to come. In fact, we've only had 2 of our big 4 stakes days so far, John. We're
Yeah.
only halfway through that great action.
And we officially start Mile Week tomorrow,
Yep.
so we got that. And then, I didn't catch it, but I know ESPN had some of the big promotion days on Thursday night, which I'm sure they'll see again. Because I had somebody text me, he says, "Oh, I'm watching Emerald Downs right now on ESPN." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that was this week."
And they're on tonight.
Oh.
Both the Corgi and T-Rex half-hour shows are back-to-back 10 p.m., 10:30 tonight on ESPN2. First run was this past Thursday. And, just the track in a really good light. A lot of people having a great time. T-Rex and Corgi Day. And top thoroughbred racehorses in the spotlight next Sunday. Championship Sunday. And the quarter horse stakes races are next Saturday, along with the Hall of Fame induction. So just a lot going on. Check out emeralddowns.com or Emerald Downs on Facebook for more info. Let's look at the 9th race horses. And you and Tom came through on Upstart Yankee, as he was a winner over the 2 closers. These are fillies and mares at a mile. Sees Lily Dancer is a first-time Emerald Downs runner by Good Samaritan, and she hasn't raced since March, so it's been 7 months or 4 months or so. And Scott Tubbs runner with Kevin Krieger, he's high on her, and I can see why. She had a grass win at Turf Paradise in February of this year. And she actually was disqualified from the purse money there. But she also won going a mile on the dirt at Prairie Meadows last year, generally from a little off the pace.
Yeah, when I opened the form and looked at her, I didn't really know what to make, because we see this big buyer figure of an 81 on the turf in a stakes race where she was 21-1, and you look at that, you're like, wow, where'd that kind of come from? But she had won, as you mentioned. She got disqualified from the purse money, but she had an impressive win 1 race back. And she comes off a layoff, but has a nice 5 furlong work. And guess what post she drew? She drew the 1 hole, which, is, again, it's a big advantage going to the first turn in that route. So we'll see if she can compete here. I didn't really know what to make of her. Her dirt record was okay. Her turf record's a little better. We'll see what she does today.
Yeah, been away, again, about 4.5 months or so. Off the break. She did have a break from September of 25 to February of this year, and she won coming back in an 8,500 claiming race. That was the race she was disqualified from the purse, but nonetheless beat 7 in there off a break. So it's a little break now, and Kevin Krieger aboard. He knows his way around the Emerald Downs Oval. Number 2 there, Exington, is a second-time Emerald Downs runner, who in her previous start won at this distance at Santa Anita.
Yeah, in that race, she was probably second choice there, 7-2, and she got a good trip and drew away to a powerful score. And Connections claimed her out of that race, brought her up to Emerald, and tried to sprint her against some really tough sprinters, and that was just a super tough spot. She drops down, doesn't necessarily drop in price, but drops into an easier spot here, is really well bred by Hard Spun, and going back to a route, has good tactical speed. She's going to get a nice stalking trip. If she can repeat her race on April 25th at Santa Anita, she'll be right there at the finish.
Okay, there she is, Exington. And it's been just about 2 months since she raced at Emerald Downs in that sprint won by Maximum Sparkle. That photo finish, Maximum Sparkle over Alluring Valentine. Alluring Valentine could well be seen in the Washington Oaks next week. Exington from trainer Francisco Rodriguez, Adrian Castellanos aboard. Nafel, the 3, it took a while for her to get her maiden victory, but boy, 3 of her last 4 races have been very strong.
Yeah, her race on June 28th was a big effort. She was wide on both turns. There wasn't a lot of speed in that race, and she made a big stretch run. And then last race, she's a little closer and got that nice stalking trip. She did beat Chatty Leroy Brown, who tow roped the field earlier a couple races back, so you got to give her extra credit for that win there. And she's going well right now, and she's got a nice style and a lot of positives also.
Yeah, a lot of positives for Nafel. Just all those second place finishes over a couple of seasons, and now 2 wins in her last 4 for Scott Tubbs. Alex Cruz returns to ride. Banji Go, the 4, could get a pretty good pace scenario. She's 0 for 7 at a mile, but several placings.
You know, you look at her last 2, she's in that scenario, she's won the battle but lost the war in the sense that she's been battling all around the racetrack. Last time she hooked Chatty Leroy Brown, and she put that one away, but she couldn't hold off the 3-horse Nafel here, and she's going to be in the similar situation, although I don't really know if anybody's going to run with her out of the gate. There's Unbridled Scholar is kind of an unknown, and Exington does have speed also, but if she can get loose on the lead, you have to respect that possibility.
There she is, big, strong daughter of Uh-Oh Bango, and on her toes, Banji Go from Charles Essex, Blake Nunnally. Unbridled Scholar has a good record here from past racing. We saw her win a 1-mile race by 8 lengths last summer. And since then, she's won at Santa Anita. Now she's coming off about a 2-month break.
Yeah, as you mentioned, she was pretty impressive at Emerald. Connections went down to Santa Anita, were able to get a win down there, and then kind of put her in those starter allowance races, and those are some really tough fields. She's got a break, which I think she looks like she might have needed here. She's fresh, she's dangerous, and she's run some races that would be pretty tough for a lot of these to handle if she shows up and does that.
Big favorite as we go to the track. Unbridled Scholar from Blaine Wright, Kevin Orozco, and Voulin on the outside. She fits right in there with Nafel and Banji Go. They have been trading close decisions. On the track for the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse.
Horses are on the track for the 9th race. It's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse at 1 mile. Starter allowance event, purse of $14,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Post time in 6 minutes.
Race number 9, Emerald Downs, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse at 1 mile. 6 runners on the track, and we've got a couple nominees to the Emerald Distaff in here. Here's a look at one of them, Nefel. She is very sharp right now for trainer Scott Tubbs, 2 wins in her last 4. The start of the late double, a $1 wager tying the winners of the 9th race and the 10th race, rolling doubles. So this is the last $1 double of the day. Let's head up to Tom.
All right, Joe, 2 turns for the 9th race. I'm looking to the inside with C's Lily Dancer, who checks in here making the 2026 Emerald Downs debut in this race here today. You look at the form on this one, had 2 starts earlier this year at Turf Paradise. That was on the turf course. Had good efforts on both of those occasions. Last year did most of her racing at Prairie Meadows in mid to upper claiming ranks. She's no doubt seen some tough company. Recently placing 3rd in the Queen of the Green at Turf Paradise. That was back in March of this year. I'll put her on top in this one. Kevin Krieger has the assignment. Then I'll look to number 2, Exington, right next door, 2nd selection in this race. This one had a game score down south at Santa Anita. Caught a very tough Maximum Sparkle in the first outing here. The mile effort should be a better fit here today for Exington, number 2. Nafeel, number 3, likes the distance, a very game sort, and as you mentioned, has the resume and stakes nominated. So coming off that nice mile victory, Nafeel certainly figures to be a top rival here. 1, 2, 3. That's the way I have it here in the 9th.
1, 2, 3 for Tom, and sees Lily Dancer making her Emerald Downs debut. And Dynamic Morning Line shows her drifting up a little bit to 8-1, while 8-5 on Unbridled Scholar, and possibly as low as 2-1 on number 2 Exington. John?
Yeah, and I picked those 2, 1-2, one of them being Unbridled Scholar to win. As we talked earlier, she was super impressive routing last year in her only route, and then went to Del Mar and Santa Anita and acquitted herself really well in Starter Allowance Company. I think this is slightly easier, and of course the owner has won the Longacres Mile, and since we're right on top of the Longacres Mile with Striker PhD, we'll see if they can get a win here with the big favorite.
Yeah, Jim and Mona Auer, the owners of all-time Washington bred great Striker PhD. Back-to-back wins in 2014 and 2015. He won 8 straight races, all stakes at Emerald Downs over a little more than 2 seasons. I'm going to go Banji Go, the 4. She can run the mile. She hasn't won at the distance, but 5 of 7 in the top 3, and could get a good pace scenario in here in a short field. I'll go 4, John goes 5, and Tom goes 1 in the 9th.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 9th. Field set to load for the 9th race, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse. First one to go up sees Lily Dancer, inside post position. She goes right in, now to Exington. Nafil, 2 from the inside, strolls to the mark. They'll leave an open spot for Banjigo. Unbridled Scholar, even money choice, right in. Vulin outside post. Banjigo last one. And the gray, Banjigo, up to the mark. Mark Gibson will send them on their way. And runners away. Banjigo wastes no time, breaks right to the front with Nafil, sees Lily Dancer tucked away along the inside as they make way round the Mount Rainier turn. Banjigo prompted on to the front here, midway round the turn, and sees Lily Dancer at the inside, second to the outside, the favorite Unbridled Scholars into third. There's 2 more, back to Nafil. Exington is back of that one with Vulin alongside. And they're tightly knit up the backstretch they go. 24 and 5/100ths with Banjigo the leader by a half. Unbridled Scholar on the outside is racing second by a length. Then up on the outside, running on comes Nafil into third. Sees Lily Dancer, backs off at the rail. Vulin kicks on now, and Exington at the back. Around the far turn they go now. Banjigo the leader. Unbridled Scholar continues to race right with her from the outside, and now those 2 move as one. Nafil is back a patient third with a quarter mile to go. Vulin gains at the rail. They run to the top of the stretch, and from the outside, Unbridled Scholar. On the inside, Banjigo, they're off the turn together. A furlong remains. Unbridled Scholar digs in. Banjigo fights back from the inside. Then it's back to Nafil, 70 yards away. Unbridled Scholar goes on and nails it down by a length. Banjigo was second. Nafil followed. Then came Vulin to seize Lily Dancer in Exington. Time for the mile, 1:37 and 23/100ths. Unofficial order of finish appears on the totalizator board for the 9th race. Finishing first, it was number 5, Unbridled Scholar. Second was number 4, Banjigo. Third came number 3, Nafil. And finishing fourth, number 6, Vulin. Results are not yet official. Time for the mile once again, 1:37 and 23/100ths. 9th race today, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Purse. Results official. The official winner, number 5, Unbridled Scholar. To the Michelob Ultra Winners Circle, it's Unbridled Scholar. Owned by Mona Auer, trained by Blaine Wright. That's a riding double for jockey Kevin Orozco. Unbridled Scholar, a 7-year-old chestnut mare by Will Take Charge. From Rachel Lay, she was sired by Storm and Fever. Bred in Kentucky by James and Mona Auer. And a look at the prices for the 9th race. Winner number 5, Unbridled Scholar, $4.98 to win, $2.98 to place, $2.30 to show. Number 4, Banji Go, $4.28 to place, $3.10 to show. Number 3, Nafil, $3.54 to show. Winning Exacta, $7.50. Rolling Double, $7.28. 50-cent trifecta, $13.35. 10-cent super, $8.15. And the pick 3, $7.48. Coming up, the 10th and final today, the Olympic Eagle Purse at 1 mile. No changes in the 10th. Post time for the 10th race at 6:32, just over 20 minutes until post time. Fans, be sure to join us 1 week from today, Saturday, August 15th, Hall of Fame Day at Emerald Downs. We'll have a special ceremony in front of the Winner's Circle at 1 p.m. The 2026 Washington Racing Hall of Fame inductees are Doug Moore in the Lifetime Achievement category, Maxwell G. in the Older Horse Division, Reba's Tops in the Older Filly or Mare Division, and the Media Award goes to Mark Kaufman. Fans, don't forget, tomorrow is the final day of our Family Fun Weekend, final day for the season. Come on out, bring the kids to enjoy face painting, bounce houses, sidewalk chalk, plus tomorrow we'll have the kids race on the track. This is the final weekend of the Family Fun Weekend of the season here at Emerald Downs. Post time tomorrow's 1:50.
Race number 10 at Emerald Downs, the Olympic Eagle Purse. Thanks for joining us today. And again, 11 races tomorrow here at Emerald Downs as Long Acres Mile Week begins. And we've got a 4-year-old and up filly and mare event at a mile here. Non-winners of 3 is the condition. And a field of 8. Army Knife has the rail going a mile. And she is going sprint to route for trainer Doug Carlson. She had 3 straight sprints in the money, including a victory a month ago. And she was unplaced in that 12-5 race most recently she had an outside post. Kinky Moon, of course, super sharp, won that race by 5 lengths. So Army Knife dropping down to her winning level. She won her non-winners at 2 at 8,000 and has the 1 post going a mile. I'm thinking kind of positive thoughts on her, John.
Yeah, you look at her form in her last race, the time was super fast for the day and she was a little wide on the turn, but as you also mentioned, 2 races back, or the second and third start back, she ran really, really well. Now she's a Lutz Gift. We did see a Lutz Gift go wire to wire earlier today. The only difference is her mare side might be a little more sprint oriented than the other one, but she has the 1 hole, she has tactical speed, she's going to a route. We're going to hear this all the way through the end of the year. So, probably a 10 to 12 to 1 shot. We'll see if she can kind of save some ground early and stick around at the finish here.
Yeah, she is out of a Smoke Blackened mare, while Fruit Loots out of a Candy Ride mare. Blake Nunnally is back aboard for Doug Carlson on Army Knife. River Dance comes off a very impressive win. Alex Cruz is back up. He picked up that mount in just her 2nd start of the year. So drop in class and huge second out improvement. She didn't even really break all that well in that victory.
No, not at all. She broke a length and a half slowly. If I remember correctly, the 2 horses she beat were, heavily bet, but she made this big run on the turn and just drew away and comes right back here, 3rd start after a layoff, and she has routed decently in the past, so you know that she can get the distance, and she has a right to continue to improve. She ran some big races last year, even though they were 3rd place finishes, but they were in some stronger fields and against some, we just saw her run against Unbridled Scholar last year routing, so definitely a strong contender off that last race.
Both her career victories right here at Emerald Downs. River Dance from trainer Scott Freeman, our reigning trainer of the week. And Alex Cruz right back up 2 weeks later. See if she can go a mile and pick up a 2nd straight victory. Coconut Dreams, the 3, is a class dropper. She was sharp earlier in the meeting. It was at the 5,000 non-winners at 2 level. And she picked up a sprint victory on that level and showed good speed. She did step up in class and didn't fare quite as well, so a little drop here, and back to a 2-turn race where we see that she did win going a mile on the grass down at Turf Paradise back in February.
And she draws inside the other horses that are likely to be up near the lead, so she has a good chance of going into that first turn and controlling the pace. And as you already mentioned, she's won routing on the turf, and even her dirt race where she was 4th on a route back at Turf Paradise, she was forcing the hot pace all the way around the track and held on for a close 4th. In fact, Kinky Moon was in that race and beat her by a couple lengths. So we know that this is probably a little better level because, as you talked about, the last 2 have been much tougher horses.
Yep, there she is, Coconut Dreams by the Factor, and she comes out of the Kinky Moon race. She finished basically noses apart with Army Knife, well out of it there 2 weeks ago. No Kinky Moon, of course, today. Choke Cherry Sherry from trainer Jim Gilmore. He's had a really fine season here at Emerald Downs, and he sent her down to Prineville in Oregon. She came up with a big victory. Couple of placings here at the track. Stalking closing sprinter is going to try a mile today.
Yeah, and her last race at Emerald, July 5th, she stumbled at the start there, so she has a bit of an excuse there. Her previous 2 races, she was kind of non-threatening, but she hit the board. She ran 2nd and 3rd in those races, and as you also mentioned, she comes off a nice win in Oregon. Now, again, we've seen a lot of these Oregon horses that have run well there, even they ran at Emerald before, come up here and not do too much, but that win probably gave her a little confidence, and she has competed well at Emerald in the past, so definitely a possibility at a good price, too.
Yeah, not a bad record here 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third from 8 for Choke Cherry Sherry, a cow bred by Stay Thirsty with Alyssa Morales. And Morales, from her opportunities this year, has been coming through. She's up 16, 18% wins now after that victory today. Bella Chow Chow, big win, trying a mile, and her mile last August was also a very good effort in which she was awarded first purse money. So statistically, she's 2 for 2 at the distance.
Yeah, and she was bet down to 1 to 2 last race, and she got involved in a hot pace duel there. They were at each other, and she put away the pace horse and drew off to a big win. Now she does draw in the middle, and I don't think she's quick enough to outrun the 3 horse, but she's run well from just off the pace also. So clearly one of the bigger, or one of the lower price contenders for sure.
Bella Chow Chow from Coco Patino, and the dam of Bella Chow Chow was a stakes-winning mare here at Emerald Downs, Reginella from the Blaine Wright barn. Coco was working for Blaine at that time when Reginella was doing well. Kevin Krieger aboard the 5. There's the 6, Booster Club, first career route race by Clubhouse Ride out of a Ghost Zapper mare.
Yeah, on fireworks night, she ran a good second to Army Knife, the 1 horse in that race with the big stretch run, and then she was a little overmatched. She ran into Storm Harbor, which was a much tougher field 2 weeks later. Then last race, she broke slow, but seemed to win with someone reserved. I think at the end of the race, they really weren't asking her much. She's a Clubhouse Ride, and we always look extra careful at those, and definitely routing shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, the Clubhouse Ride. 2 turns, first time for Booster Club. David Martinez, Kevin Orozco, Swift Caro. She won going a mile on the front end last year. A little slow going her last couple, but this is a class drop for Tom Wenzel.
Yeah, drop in price, with wide trip last time. The move to a route will help her too.
She goes to the track at 7 to 2, might go a little bit lower. And Happy is on the outside for Marcelino Trujillo, Adrian Castellanos. 8 to the track for the finale.
And the horses take the track for the 10th and final, the Olympic Eagle purse at 1 mile. It's a claiming event, purse of $11,500. It's for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward. Post time coming up in 5 minutes for the nightcap.
Race 10, the finale here on Saturday, the Olympic Eagle Purse at 1 mile. Fillies and mares, and 8 to choose from in here. Let's head up to Tom.
All right, Joe, 10th and final at a mile. Well, you know how last week, Joe, we thought that Kevin Orozco was sitting on 499 wins?
Mm-hmm.
Well, come to find out, a couple of those were quarter horse wins, and they don't count when it comes to the thoroughbred race meet in terms of total wins. So here we are again with the Kevin Orozco watch. He is at 499. Should he win here on Booster Club, it will then give him 500 career victories.
Yeah, he has had an outstanding career, and about probably 65% of those wins have been right here at Emerald Downs.
Yes, he's an excellent rider, and I'm going to go with him here.
Okay.
On Booster Club, Kevin Orozco looking to make it a triple here today. Booster Club coming off that nice win at 6 furlongs last time out. Going to stretch out to a mile. She hasn't been the mile yet, but based on that late running style that she's shown us from Santa Anita to the starts here locally, it looks like she might enjoy that extra distance. So I'll use Booster Club here on top. Next, I'll look to the inside with Army Knife, Blake Nunley to do the guiding here. Here's another late running sort that can loom a threat in the late stages of the race, and long shot right now, 14 to 1. Number 3, Coconut Dreams rounds out my top 3, drops to a better spot here. I go 6, 1, and 3 in the finale.
Okay, Tom on Booster Club. She goes sprint to route, but coming off an impressive victory and a very easy victory, pulling away. John.
Yeah, she was impressive in that race because she was far back early and powered right by everybody in the stretch. I'm going to go with number 5, Bella Chow Chow, which I think means beautiful goodbye or goodbye beautiful, one of the two. I'm not 100% sure.
Come on, you're half Italian, man.
Well, I got the half right. I don't know if the other half's right, but I know goodbye is part of it and beautiful is part of it. I don't know which order it is. Anyway, she comes off a race where she dominated a field at a heavy favorite, and the final time wasn't really anything impressive, but she was battling all her way around the racetrack, and I think she might have had some in reserve there. We'll see if she can make it 2 straight.
Okay, yeah, and she's officially 2 for 2 at the distance. One last year and one on July 17th. John on the 5, Tom on the 6. I'm going to go upset with Army Knife, the rail post, as she goes sprint to route, drops in class. Just her last race, Kinky Moon won that very easily, so a little bit different company today, and we'll see if she can do the mile. I'm taking a chance at a price. Okay, I'm on the 1, Tom's on the 6, John's on the 5 in the 10th.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. Post time for the 10th. 10th and final, the Olympic Eagle Purse at a mile. Army Knife, first one to go up. Chokecherry, Sherry, middle of the gate. Riverdance, one off the rail. Now comes Coconut Dreams. Booster Club, 2 from the outside. They'll leave an open spot for Bella Chow Chow, who's under the breakaway blanket. Swift Caro, 1 from the outside, steps up. Now comes Bella Chow Chow. Happy is last one. Happy Is steps in. Once again, Mark Gibson will send them on their way. And runners away, and losing the rider was Coconut Dreams at the get. Army Knife from the inside was quick into stride, and Bella Chow Chow is right there. Up to the outside, Happy Is racing third early on. Around the Mount Rainier turn they go. Settled in up front, it's Army Knife, the leader by 2. Then it's back to Bella Chow Chow racing next. Swift Caro is into third. Happy Is on the outside, racing next. A length and a half to Choca Cherry Sherry mid-pack. Span of 3 more, back to Booster Club and Riverdance at the tail. Midway up the backstretch they go, 23:59. Opening fraction as Swift Caro finds the lead now. Army Knife is at the inside second, 2.5 clear. Bella Chow Chow racing third. Still 2.5 for 3 to Happy Is. Choca Cherry Sherry follows that. Then it's back to Booster Club and Riverdance. Around the turn they go. Stride for stride up front. Army Knife and Swift Caro going at it. Bella Chow Chow closing in a closer third now. Happy Is back of that. Choca Cherry Sherry as they round the turn and run for home now. Swift Caro from the outside. Army Knife at the inside's been there every step of the way. Here comes Bella Chow Chow now on the attack. Deep stretch they come. Bella Chow Chow there to engage in the final 16th. On the outside, it's Bella Chow Chow trying to run through Choca Cherry Sherry at the rail, but Bella Chow Chow will win it from Army Knife. Choca Cherry Sherry back third. Then Riverdance to Swift Caro, Booster Club, and Army Knife. Happy Is, check that at the tail. That was Happy Is at the back. Running time for the mile, 1:38 and 64 100ths. Inquiry sign appearing on the totalizator board. Stewards having a quick look at the start of that 10th race as it pertains to number 3, Coconut Dreams, losing the rider after the start, not involving the top 4 place finishers. First on the board, number 5, Bella Chow Chow. Second was number 1, Army Knife. Third, number 4, Choca Cherry Sherry, to number 2, Riverdance, finishing fourth. Running time for the mile, once again, 1:38 and 64 100ths. Tenth race, the Olympic Eagle Purse. In the Michelob Ultra Winner's Circle, it's Bella Chow Chow. Bella Chow Chow, owned by Luigi Di Pietro or Diana Di Pietro, trained by Faustino Patino. Kevin Krieger with the riding double today. Bella Chow Chow, 4-year-old bay filly by Stanford from Reginella. She was sired by Minister's Wildcat. Bred here in Washington by Di Pietro Thoroughbreds. Results stand official. Finishing fifth for the Pentafecta was number 7, Swift Caro. Look at the prices. Number 5, Bella Chow Chow, $8.10 on the win ticket, $5.20 to place, $3.74 across. Number 1, Army Knife, $11.44 to place, $7.32 to show. Number 4, Chokecherry Sherry, $5.98 on the show ticket. The exact of $54.12. Late double paid, $14.88. 50-cent trifecta, $212.81. 10-cent super, $213.34. Pentafecta, no winners. Carryover pool for tomorrow at $1,507.62. And we have a look at the late pick 3, $20.15. The late pick 4, $56.82. Today's pick 5, $104.68. The 10-cent jackpot pick 6, $154.69. There were no unique winning tickets in the jackpot pick 6, and that carryover pool for tomorrow now stands at $3,219.28. Fans, don't forget to join us tomorrow. Racing resumes. Final chance to enjoy family fun weekend tomorrow. Post time's 1:50. We'll have the kids race on the track as well. Make plans to join us right here with all the activities in the park. From all of us here at Emerald Downs, I'm your track announcer, Tom Harris, wishing you all a pleasant good night.